All right, so here's a quick explanation of how we're going to use these kinematics equations. Okay, so as you see on the sheet, there are a few. Okay, so the first one is going to be x final equals vt plus x naught. Okay, that's the one you can use for constant velocity, or you could use for average velocity. Okay, even if it's accelerating, you could use that one if you're only calculating the average and not the instantaneous, okay? Keeping in mind that the average velocity also is just the simple average of the initial and the final velocity, okay? And keep in mind, this is only good if the acceleration is constant. If the acceleration is non-constant, all this is out the window. You cannot use it, okay? So the acceleration must be constant for this, okay? All right, another one that we will use is v final equals at plus v naught. Okay, that one came from the v versus t graph, linear. All right. When you do the area of this one, right, so remember if I had my v versus t graph, say it looks like this. Okay, like this is my v naught, this is my vf. Okay, when we take the area under this graph, that gives us displacement, and that's how we get 1/2 at squared plus v naught t, okay? This part is the rectangle. This part is the triangle, okay? Also, if you're thinking calculus terms, right, this is the integral of the velocity equation, okay? Or vice versa, that's the derivative, okay? But again, not important for these. These are all just going to be constant. All right, this one you also might see written like this, okay, or sometimes the terms switch around. Okay, like see, you might also see it like this on the equation sheet. Okay, so see how this and this are kind of the same equation, right? If the velocity is constant, there's, there'd be no acceleration term, right? And then this is the equation you had before if the velocity is constant, okay? But really, we're going to look at it in this terms. This is going to be the most common way when you're just trying to crank out some problems, is to look at it for this, okay? All right, and then if you want to go through this, you're more than welcome to, but you don't have to. This equation and this equation, all right, when I smash these two together and get rid of the time term, like if I solve like one of them for time and then put it in the other one, then I get this handy equation. Okay, and if you want to go through that math, you're more than welcome to do that, but you don't have to do it. Okay, and then this is one you'd use when there's no time. All right, so those are kind of the big three that we'll use, these yellow highlighted ones. These are the major ones we're going to use. This orange one up here, right, that would be for average velocity or constant velocity, okay? And you can also use this one if the velocity is constant, right, because then that acceleration term is just going to go away. All right, so those are the three major ones, and then you just have to basically write out your givens, which I'll show you in the next equation, and then pick out what's the best one to solve. All right, and for tests and stuff, I'll always give you the equations, and eventually I'll give you the AP equation sheet, but it's a little overwhelming right now, so we'll go from there. All right, so that is how the equations come.